Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back with more coverage from ASUS at CES 2023, and we took a look at some additional peripheral items that they have announced. The first one up is just an amazing, blazing fast monitor. It is the ROG Swift Pro PG248QP.
Yeah, and this monitor is sort of a milestone because it breaks the 500 hertz refresh rate. This is 540 hertz.
Right. Yeah, overclocked 540 hertz.
Overclocked to 540 hertz, and they had a demo showing 540 hertz versus 144. And do you remember when you thought 144 was fast? And every time
I know, that's what I have at home, and I'm like, is this how bad mine looks at home?
Every time we see these demos, we saw it with 144 and we saw it with 360 a couple years ago. Every time we see these higher refresh rates, we're like, is this ever gonna stop? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because you thought 360, like, that's enough, that's as high as we're gonna go, and now we're at 540, and it's so smooth and so crisp. And again, this is really targeted at professional gamers, Counter-Strike Source, Apex, like games that really support this. So this monitor is a 24.1 inch display, 1920 by 1080. It is a TN panel. Right. It's G-Sync certified, obviously. And then there was an interesting, JJ was telling us about the voltage on this, on how that's achieved.
So it has multiple voltage, inputs for providing power to your pixels on the display, right? So in order to make sure that all or more of the screen is refreshing and has a quick enough response time across more of the screen, they needed to spread out the voltage and kind of apply it in multiple locations on the screen to give more consistent performance across the entire panel.
Yeah, so it's really, really cool to see. We don't play professional games, but like, would you eventually get something like this?
I mean, when I saw the difference that they had on the screen, right, the difference between the 500 and the 144 that I'm so used to playing at, it makes it obvious. Like, it's almost like, why wouldn't you? Because it looked so obvious. So, I mean, yes, it's something I would consider moving to.
Okay. Yeah, so we don't know pricing. It's going to be available sometime in the first half of this year. Definitely something to consider if you are a esports, and every little, like I said, every little thing matters when it comes to those type of players. So it's definitely something to consider later this year.
Next up, we had the ROG Destrier Ergo gaming chair, and this is like going to be the perfect combo to pair up with that monitor, right? What better way to enjoy 540 hertz by sitting down in a nice, comfy, ergonomic chair. Now, ASUS has designed this chair with, again, an exoskeleton design, right? A nice, sturdy, really nice looking.
It's designed as an ergo chair,
yes,
but it's the way they explain it is it's the everything chair,
yes,
right? But so many ergo chairs don't have some of the features that gaming chairs have, and they kind of molded everything together to give you basically the best experience, whether when it comes to comfort, when it comes to ergonomics, it's all kind of together in this. And that's one thing I really like, because I have an ergo chair, but I do miss some of the features of like my gaming chair, and I kind of switch them back and forth. So it's kind of would be nice to have one that does everything.
Yeah, it's one of those chairs that has the mesh fabric, for the seating and back surfaces. It's not one that's packed with cushioning. It uses the mesh material in order to provide that. Has adjustable lumbar support. You're able to move it up and down depending on where you need it, further in and out depending on your preferences. A very adjustable pillow, right? All these gaming type chairs a lot of times will have a neck pillow or a pillow there. All sorts of customization.
You can move that up, like most would give you up and down
up and
for
down.
like the
That's usually
headrest.
about it.
But now this one can go forward and back as well, which is really cool. And then back there they had a sort of sound dampening.
It's just a curved, the
back of the chair.
Yeah, so it kind of keeps the sound where you are and doesn't allow it to spread to the rest of
and it doesn't allow you to hear other sounds from around you as much as well. It gives you more immersed in your game, which I thought was something different and something we haven't seen there as well.
another thing I thought was kind of a unique feature is they've kind of designed some straps to make adjustments on the chair. You know, we're used to these chairs with all the levers and handles. They still kind of have a similar function, but now they have straps instead of some of those levers, which is kind of a cool feature. I thought that was pretty unique. Also, the armrests are a PU foam material, right? So a lot of chairs, or some of them, will have hard plastic, you know, especially the cheaper ones, and sometimes your elbows, they get kind of sore on there. These are nice, comfy. They rotate 360 degrees, have a lot of adjustments you can make height-wise, things like that, to make it customized for your exact needs. It was also a really premium metal base, really nice wheels as well that aren't going to mark up hard surfaces, but they're also going to roll really well on carpet. Let's see here. Should be available sometime in Q1 of 2023, and we're looking for a price right around the $1,000 area, which, when you think about a really nice high-end ergo chair.
I mean, we've seen it already. We've seen, I mean, just Herman Miller in general.
Yes.
Their collab with
Logitech
and some of those higher-end ones. You're getting up there. But I always say, spend the money on the things that you're going to be using the most. So if you're sitting in this every day, it's going to be well worth the money.
Absolutely.
Next up, we have the ROG ASUS gaming keyboard. Now, this is a 75% gasket mount mechanical keyboard, and I think that ASUS has seen a lot of the custom keyboard builders, and they've kind of made this keyboard very builder friendly type thing, and doing a lot of the features that you find in those keyboards, they're bringing to a gaming keyboard. And for the most part, you really don't see that. We have gotten PBT keycaps, we've gotten better switches and things like that, and stabs, you know, but when it comes to gaming keyboards, you don't expect a gaming keyboard to have a lot of features that you're going to get in custom keyboards. And here you definitely have that. So first, you get your ROG NX mechanical switches. Those do come pre-lubed, which is nice, and they are gram force deviation binned at the factory, which is, it's going to give you most consistent switch activation experience. So, you know, you're going to get 75 of these switches. They're all going to, you know, have the same gram force deviation, or they're not going to have any gram force deviation between. It's all going to be the same.
Right, very consistent across the whole keyboard. Which
very
is really
consistent across the whole thing. Red, blue, and brown are going to be available. And the cool thing about this, and I saw the accessory kit that it comes with, and I was like, is this come with a keyboard? So the accessory kit, obviously hot swappable switches here. You get a very nice switch puller, keycap puller. You also get the tool to take the switches apart. So you can do the lubing and stuff yourself. The kit comes with lube. It comes with the lubing station. All these things that custom builders have, you get it with this keyboard. And maybe, like we've talked about before, like, I'm not at the point where I'm building my own keyboard, but maybe I want to see, like, what's the difference of, you know, lubing my own switch, or like learn how to do it in sort of, you know, I'm not going out and buying a huge lubing station. I'm not buying all these different switches. Like, it's all there with the keyboard, which I thought was really cool. It also has a little, was it an OLED screen?
Yeah, on the top right of the keyboard. You know, we've seen this kind of functionality piece, right? We're starting to see dials and, you know, some buttons kind of return, but ASUS has put the screen on there where it has kind of a toggle switch that also has some, you know, you can press it in and click it in order to go through kind of a menu structure to show certain
and
screens.
if you have the Armory Crate software on your system, you can display a bunch of different things on it. The screen actually looks really nice on this as well. I really like this just because, again, it allows me to sort of get into the custom keyboard space. It's still a great keyboard too. PBD keycaps that we talked about. A lot of things on this keyboard. It's going to ship in January with an expected price between $250 and $300.
Last up in our peripheral overview at ASUS, we took a look at the ROG Harp Ace AimLab Edition mouse. Now, this is a super lightweight wireless gaming mouse, and I could not believe how light this was. I mean, It's got a battery in there. It's got all your components, and this thing comes in at 54 grams. And you would think, okay, 54 grams. It's got a battery, so had to do some pretty massive cutouts, right?
Yeah, there's cutouts everywhere.
No, that is not the case. Like the top of this has no cutouts. Anywhere where your hand is touching this mouse, there's no cutouts, right? They've used a new material that's environmentally friendly. It's a biopolymer material that is, I guess, allowing them to make it a lot lighter. It's still super sturdy. I was just blown away by this thing. It
felt so good in my hand, and like Ryan and I have, we're lightweight mice people, and we were blown away just how well it felt, how well it glided, and just how light it was. And it did come with the really cool looking grips that come with it. So you can get grips for the side and grips for the two top buttons. They're optional. So again, if you're not going to use them, you don't have to, but they do come, and they make the mouse extremely comfortable. I know you're a grip person.
Yeah, I use the grips on the sides, but not on the mouse buttons. I like that it doesn't come with them on there, but you have the option of sticking them on. It's got some thumb buttons, which is pretty standard. It does have a single RGB LED lighting zone in the mouse wheel. They only kept it to one, obviously, because you want to save some battery life there. You can actually also stick the 2.4 gigahertz wireless dongle in the base of the mouse, which is just always a nice feature.
I always lose that thing.
Yeah,
I always, because they're always so small,
Yep, keeping it right there with it. And this, speaking of wireless, this is a tri-mode connectivity mouse, so you can obviously use it in a wired configuration. You can use it in Bluetooth and the supplied 2.0 wireless, 2.4 gigahertz wireless mode. I'm super excited about this. It also has that the AIM Lab edition.
So what's cool about the reason why they call this AIM Lab edition is that you can open AIM Lab and you can run a bunch of different things, and then it will download all of the best settings to the mouse itself.
Right.
So, a lot of times you have to set all these different settings yourself. It's going to, once you run through all the different tests, it's going to take that information and put it on the mouse itself and change all the settings for you, so you don't have to do it. You don't have to change everything. It sees what you're, like AIM Lab will see what you're doing with the mouse, and then it will apply the best settings for you. And again, this isn't just some setting like, hey, this is the FPS setting. You run through the test yourself, and based on your own movements, it's going to, again, take that information and then change the settings on the mouse to best fit your needs, not just some basic setting, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, I really like that. So yeah, this should be shipping in January. So this comes out super soon. Super excited to see this. Hopefully we can get in maybe a review sample of this. It is going to be priced at $150.
Yeah. So that is it for the ASUS sort of gaming products that we saw here at CES 2023. Now, if you have any questions about these products, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. And we will have a link below where you can check out all of our coverage from the show. If you enjoyed this video, we appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up, and we'll see you guys in the next video.